Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing the S.H.Figuarts Nail from Dragon Ball Z. Now this was a premium Bandai figure because he's sort of like a more niche character, and while they've been filling out the ranks of Namek, it seems like almost every figure is a premium Bandai at this point, with Guru coming up soonish as well as the new Krillin, and we'll be getting the first appearance Super Saiyan Goku shortly as well. And who knows if there will be any more Namek. It seems like at the time of recording, Tamashii are teasing possibly a new Frieza, but we'll see. Anyway, today we are looking at Nail, and like I said, he is one of the more niche characters. He is the first proper articulated non-Piccolo Namekian that we've had. Yes, we've had Dende, but he's like barely articulated at all, so it is kind of cool to have something besides Piccolo, even if he shares a lot in common with Piccolo and looks, almost exactly the same. But it is nice to have a little bit of variety. Anyway, we will jump right into it. So taken out of the box, here's what Nail comes with. And it's quite a lot. So we get the figure itself with his coat attached. We get 5 heads. They're not face swaps. That's sort of normal with the Piccolo style figures, just because it's hard for bald characters to have like swappable faceplates without a very obvious seam line. We get several different hands, we get an alternate neck piece for when you take off the coat, as well as a half regenerated arm, and that is a really cool accessory that we will get into when it comes to it. So it's a pretty good loadout of accessories. It is nice that they've filled out pretty much the whole box with stuff. It comes with all you need to replicate iconic scenes with the character. Even though he was a short-lived character, he had some iconic moments, and this is one of those really like standout figures where they've captured everything you needed from him in one box, which is great. It's the only Nail they'll probably ever do, and it's the only Nail you'll ever need. So they've done a very good job there, and we will also be getting into it later, but a lot of his accessories are compatible with the Proud Namekian Piccolo, so that is good as well. So taken out of the box and put on a display here is Nail, and he looks fantastic. There isn't a whole lot of paint, but what is there looks good. For the most part, it is a matte finish throughout the figure, a satinish finish on the flexible coat, and he's got a sort of glossy satin finish on his chest, which does look a little bit strange. It's not super consistent with the rest of the figure. It's not too bad in hand, but it was just something that I noticed. Here he is next to the Proud Namekian Piccolo, so you can see how he scales. They are effectively the same figure with some differences in like the sculpt work around the chest, but for the most part they are pretty much the same. Now, to remove the coat, you have to remove the head as well as pop off his arms. It's similar to putting on like the cloaks or like folded arms accessories for a lot of other figures, and because this is a nice soft flexible material, it comes on and off fairly easily. You just got to make enough room for the arms. And then you just reattach everything, put on his alternate neck piece, which is a floating piece, and then you're done. And this version of Nail is probably a little bit more iconic because it's how he looked when he fought Frieza, and it's the only time we've ever seen like a shirtless Namekian, so that's kind of cool. But he does look very nice. The color and sculpt work is really good, and it does change the articulation beyond what the Proud Namekian had just a tiny little bit. So speaking of which, we'll go into articulation now. So like I said, the coat is a nice soft flexible material, which is nice and easy to deal with. There is a ball joint in the head and neck, which allows for some pretty good range of motion. A little bit limited thanks to the collar piece, but because it's floating, not too bad. The arms can rotate all the way around. They can butterfly in. There's an upper arm swivel, bend at the elbow, as well as ball hinge at the wrist. There's a ball joint in the chest, which allows for some nice crunching and rotation. Good range of motion there. There's a swivel at the waist. The belt is a floating piece. He can do the splits pretty much perfectly, which is great. He can kick forward and back to a similar degree as well, which is fantastic. He's got an upper thigh swivel, double bend at the knees, as well as a rotation at the ankle, pivot at the ankle, as well as a bend at the toes. The lower part of the body is pretty much the same as Proud Namekian Piccolo, same as the arms, but it is a newer figure, so everything feels fairly good here. Now, for faces, I think that these are some of the best faces we've ever had for Figuarts, especially for Namekians, and especially in comparison to the Proud Namekian Piccolo, who has the weird like lipstick thing, so it sort of loses some of the detail of that face. Nail is a really fantastic replacement for that. So we get a beautiful neutral face out of the box. We get a mouth open shouting face with him looking to the side. It is asymmetrical and looks incredible. He also has some veins popping on his forehead. He's got a teeth clenched angry face, again with veins. He's got one eye closed shocked face with his mouth open with some sweat detail on their face. It looks incredible. And he's got his dying face when he's talking to Piccolo. There's some blood detail on it, as well as a very subtle expression on the face. It's the moment just before he fuses with Piccolo, and it's a really, really well executed accessory. And with all of those accessories, you can get Nail into some really nice poses. You can recreate some iconic scenes. Like I said, the moment when he fuses with Piccolo, you can recreate that pretty much perfectly. I really enjoyed doing that. His fight with Frieza you can also recreate, which is nice. First form Frieza is a little bit hard to get the scaling just right, but it's easy enough to pull off the promo images. And the regenerating arm gimmick is really, really cool. So the arm pops off at the joint and then just pop on the replacement one. This doesn't have any articulation in the hand or anything like that. It is one sculpted piece, but it is a translucent plastic, so you can see a lot more detail. It's a bit sharp, but it looks really, really good. I am really impressed with how this turned out. It's a fantastic accessory. It's a little bit of a shame that it's taken this long to get a regenerating arm piece for a Namekian, but it's great that we finally do have one. Absolutely perfect, no notes. And this is also compatible with the Proud Namekian Piccolo, so you can use that there. And because of that, you can also use the cut-off arm effect for Nail, which is really cool as well. So you get even more accessories through swapping parts between these figures, so you can sort of make the ultimate Piccolo figure if you have both Proud Namekian and the Nail figure. So it is really, really cool. An absolutely necessary figure if you really want pitch perfect Piccolo. But as its own standard figure, Nail is absolutely fantastic. He's probably one of the best, if not the best, Namekian figure we've had so far. Even though I really did like the Daima Piccolos, they've done both the mini and the adult, I do think that this one is probably just a bit better than those. The beautiful matte finishes on the faces, the expressions on the faces are just incredible, and the swappable arm is also fantastic. He's a stellar figure, and I think he is very worthy of being added to the S.H.Figuarts Namek collection. It's a little bit of a shame it's taken so long for him to come, but he is definitely one of the most important characters in the set that they've released so far. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will see you all next time. Oh hi, I didn't see you there. As you can see, I'm hard at work making new videos for the channel. Now, while I'm happy with where the channel is right now, I could use your help. By liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel, it helps out the YouTube algorithm and recommends my channel to more people. So if you like any of my videos, please let me know, it really helps out. And if you liked this one, please let me know too. It means a lot to me, and I really, really appreciate all of you guys.